What's up, y'all? My name is JR, and for those of you who don't already know, I'm a huge movie and TV nerd. If you're new here, I appreciate you taking the time to check out my channel. I hope you'll consider sticking around and joining the film community I'm trying to build here on YouTube. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about my first impression of the Apple Plus original series, Masters of the Air. Now, I may do another video once the miniseries concludes, but I did want to get my initial thoughts out there about the show as it has just started on Apple Plus. Now, I'm not going to get into any spoilers on this one, even though, if you know anything about American or world history, especially as it pertains to World War II and the 100th Bomb Group, then you might already know where this show is headed. Anyway, with that being said, no more wasting time. Let's get into it. Masters of the Air is an American war drama television miniseries created by John Shiban and John Orloff, and it was developed by Orloff specifically for Apple TV+. Now, it's based on the 2007 book Masters of the Air, America's Bomber Boys Who Fought the Air War Against Nazi Germany by Donald L. Miller. And the show follows the actions of the 100th Bomb Group, which is a B-17 Flying Fortress unit in the 8th Air Force during World War II. The unit that was nicknamed the Bloody 100th due to its heavy losses it suffered during combat missions. Now, the series serves as a companion series to Band of Brothers, which came out in 2001, and The Pacific, which came out in 2010. It's also the first series to be produced by Apple Studios in cooperation with Playtone and Amblin Television. The show stars Austin Butler, Callum Turner, Anthony Boyle, Barry Keoghan, Nikolai Kinski, Stephen Campbell Moore, Sawyer Spielberg, Isabel May, and James Murray. Now, at the time of the making of this video, the series has an 82% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, with a lower but still fairly respectable audience score of 77%. It has a Metascore of 73 on Metacritic, based on 40 critic reviews, with a user score of 7.1 based on only 9 user ratings, so do with that what you will. And finally, it has an 8.3 out of 10 on IMDb, and that's based on just over 2,000 reviews. So first, let me say that you can absolutely tell that this miniseries is meant to be a companion series to Band of Brothers and The Pacific. The spirit of those shows is absolutely present in this one, though I will say that I think it fails to adequately capture the essence completely of the other two shows. Now, the writing is okay, and the plot points move about how you would expect them to for a show like this. But where I really think the show is a bit disappointing, at least at this point, is, the casting. And, when I think about it, there may be a few good reasons for that, but it still doesn't change the fact. Band of Brothers had legitimate star power. Seriously. Which I think also really helped the acting, as evidenced in its 20 Emmy nominations and its 7 wins. Now, The Pacific came 9 years later, but it earned 24 nominations with 8 wins. Now, I think this show might have a bit of a harder time in that regard, though it's still pretty early and there are 7 more episodes to go in this story, so at some point I could change my mind about that. As far as the special effects go, I've seen better. And with a budget that exceeds both that of Band of Brothers and The Pacific, I did find that to be a tad disappointing. Now, the show's musical score is really nice, though, especially the opening title theme, though it's still not quite, up to what we got with Band of Brothers title sequence, and it's certainly not up to what we got in The Pacific's title sequence, which I thought was the best of the 3 by far, but then again, Hans Zimmer wrote that one, so I guess that makes sense if you ask me. Now, the show overall is a slow burn, just like the other 2, and the plot is, of course, restricted to what is believed to be true events surrounding the actual soldiers of the Bloody 100th, so there's that. I think there is some value in a show like this, though, because you might learn something, even if it's just something small that you didn't already know about what might have happened during that conflict. I also think the value in a show like this lies in you being able to get a chance to see something with your own two eyes that you may have studied or read about. And I think sometimes that can make you feel a little bit different about those things that you've read or studied. Basically, this show plays like a bit of a docudrama, but so do the other two. And I would say so far, I'd maybe give the show a 70% or so. A 7 if you're thinking IMDb score. I think it's a show that certainly has some potential, especially when I remember how the other two shows took a little while to get themselves going. But so far, I have to be honest in saying that I'm not really all that impressed, outside of the fact that I'm almost as big a history nerd as I am a movie nerd. So, I just kind of geek out on this kind of content. Deep down, though, I'm hoping the ensemble cast can rise to the occasion and get to a place where they can really adequately pay homage to the brave men and women who fought this war on behalf of the United States and the world. The first 2 episodes, though, primarily functioning as the setup of the story, much like they do again in the other 2 miniseries, were just okay. And overall, I'm just hoping the rest of the episodes are better than what I've seen so far. There are lots of people wondering why the tomato score is lower than that of Band of Brothers and the Pacific, the show's sort of spiritual predecessors. I think it's simply due to the very long shadows that those 2 shows cast, further proving that if Masters of the Air seeks to share the same rarefied air as the other 2 miniseries, it has quite a tough hill to climb. But what do you guys think? Have you seen the first 2 episodes of Masters of the Air yet? If you have, what did you think about them? Do you think the show will fail to live up to the legacy left by HBO and Band of Brothers and the Pacific? Let me know in the comments. And for those of you who might be new to the channel, be sure to like and share this video. If you really like the content, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever I drop a new video. Also, be sure to go check out themadScreenwriter.com for more television and film reviews and info on my upcoming film projects. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I got screenplays to write. I'll catch you guys in the next video.